Hello, and welcome back to Life As Is. I am your host, Maddie Walsh, and this is a podcast filled with bite-sized conversations on all things self-improvement. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Life As Is. This is episode 3. Some updates before we get started. I was shooting for weekly episodes of this podcast, but by week 3, life has taken me and kind of ragdolled me a little bit, so I'm a little late and I do apologize. However, this is also a passion project for me at this point, so I'm trying not to force deadlines on myself and or give myself more things to stress out about. So I'm going to be trying to post weekly episodes, but do not hold me to it. I'm just going to do my best and post when I can. Today we are talking about scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset and how some simple reframing of the world around you can really change your life. And what I like about this topic that we're about to get into is that, kind of similar to the last 2 episodes, it's very accessible. It can be used across all backgrounds, all life circumstances, and I feel like it's very simple to implement. The theme and the framework is essentially a dichotomy, and so I think it's really easy to understand and grasp. Putting it into practice, obviously, is something different. It's something that we have to work at. I think it's a lifelong journey. But in terms of starting, we can all do it and all utilize this reframing no matter where we are in life. So these 2 mindsets and the way they operate come from a framework that was originally popularized by Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've actually never read this book before, but it is on my list. I will link it in the show notes if you do want to check it out. And we'll start with scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset is essentially a belief that there is not enough to go around. There is not enough money, love, success, whatever, to go around. It's a belief that the resources that I can attain and the limit that I can achieve, those things are finite, and I have to hold on to the things that I have, maybe even if they aren't that good, in order to prevent myself from losing out. And so this causes us to settle for less than we want. It prevents us from taking risks and going for the things that we want to achieve, all because we are afraid that we will be left with nothing at the end of the day. And so when we have this mindset, our feelings and our actions come from a place of scarcity. Side note, I just had to take a brief break from recording. I went to a dance class and now I'm back and it is dark outside. I don't know if you can hear the coqui frogs, but I live on Big Island, so the coqui frogs come out at night. So now you will know whenever I am recording when it's dark out, because you will hear the coqui frogs in the background. Anyway, I want to get into a couple ways that scarcity mindset might manifest in our life and a couple ways that it's presented. One, in relationships. Scarcity mindset might cause you to stay in a relationship because you are afraid that there might not be anything better for you out there. The second way that scarcity mindset can manifest itself in our life is through our emotional capacity. If you're operating from a scarcity mindset, you might falter easily under pressure, or you might be a people pleaser. You maybe can't stand the idea of someone being upset with you or someone not wanting to be friends with you or be around you. Also in work, it can show up as feeling the need to compete with others and take away from others in order to rise to the top. You don't necessarily want to collaborate or share the wealth. You feel the need to hoard resources or hide the ball. Scarcity mindset can also affect our confidence. It can manifest as you feeling just a lot of comparison. You might feel, maybe as a woman, you feel like another woman's beauty is the absence of your own. You might feel like the world isn't big enough for a bunch of beautiful people, that someone who is smart must mean that you are stupid. Someone winning might feel like a threat to you, and you find it hard to congratulate people on their successes. And I want to put a little asterisk here and make a side note here that it might not be a conscious effort that you're making to put other people down when they succeed, but it might just be for right now, this visceral feeling that you get when you see other people succeed or doing well that doesn't really feel right. You don't know exactly where it's coming from. You might not know why you're doing it or feeling that way, but it is kind of a feeling that is maybe shameful and embarrassing for you, because why wouldn't you want to congratulate people on their successes? Why wouldn't you want to lift other people up and make sure that they know that they're supported? It might be something that you can't really explain yet, but it is a feeling. The last example I have of scarcity mindset coming up in our life is through money. You might focus consistently on survival if you're operating from a scarcity mindset. You might prioritize survival over growth. You might be, for example, hoarding your cash instead of investing it and allowing it to grow. You might not trust banks or whatever. You don't want to help others get money. You try to keep it all to yourself. You might be overly stingy, etc., etc. And in order to move forward from this and shift our perspective from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, it's important to understand also how we got here in the first place. Like, where does that scarcity mindset come from? And so, disclaimer, like I've said in previous episodes, I am not a psychologist by any means, but I mean, the closest thing that I have to knowing anything about psychology is my bachelor's degree in social work. Other than that, I'm pretty much doing my own research. And here are some things that I have come up with in terms of the source of our scarcity mindset. First could be parental modeling. If your parents, say, operated from a scarcity mindset when you were growing up, you might have adopted some of their habits and their outlooks on life. If they were stingy with money, if they stayed in a relationship because they were afraid of being alone, maybe even they explicitly told you that there isn't room for everyone and only a certain amount of people can be successful, you might have sometimes subconsciously inherited that belief system and carried it into adulthood. The second root cause could be emotional neglect. And this can happen at any stage in your life. This could be from your childhood, or it could be from your teen years, or somewhere in your adult life. Emotional neglect can cause you to feel like there are limited spots open to be loved, and you feel like love is something you have to fight over or earn, and you have to cling onto it. You have to white knuckle cling onto it when you get it, because if you let it slip away, then there might not be any more where that came from. The third possible cause I want to talk about is lack of trust. And this comes from a childhood of your parents not trusting you, maybe your teachers not trusting you, the authority figures in your life not trusting you. Maybe you were constantly told that you were screwing up and not doing it right, which can apply to everyone, but also intensely applies to women. You can develop then a lack of trust in yourself as an adult, and this can lead you to playing small, living small, not wanting to take risks for fear of failure or doing it wrong, losing it all, screwing up, disappointing someone, whatever it may be. You put so much pressure on yourself to get it right, and you don't allow yourself to have opportunities just come and go, feel it out, because you don't trust that you will get it right. You have this need to control the outcome because no one is coming to save you, and you have been taught through your history that you have a tendency to just do everything wrong. The last possible root cause that I want to talk about is financial trauma. Say you grew up poor and never got to enjoy the things that money could bring. You were always playing catch up, always trying to survive and get to the next paycheck. Then you can operate out of a place of financial scarcity where you believe that there will never be enough. And this can impact the way that you move and the decisions that you make as an adult. I also think a reason why looking at the origin is really important is so that you know that a lot of how you got here was not your fault, that you didn't necessarily create this reality. You do not have a fixed disposition of always looking for the other shoe to drop, or you weren't just born with a bad attitude. Like, this mindset is shaped mostly by things that have happened to you in the past and situations that you have gone through. So I don't want anyone taking away any shame from this conversation and thinking to myself, I am so unhealthy and horrible and toxic because I think this way. It is okay to think this way and feel this way. I think it's something that's deeply ingrained in most of us. I just want whoever's listening and resonating with this to know that there is more out there for you. Like, there is a better mindset out there for you. There is enough to go around. You will not run out, and you can actively take steps to see the abundance in your life. Like, you can do better. And so, like I said, while it might not necessarily be your fault that you ended up here, now that we know that we're here, it is our responsibility to reframe and do the work to shift this mindset so that you can thrive and your community around you can thrive as well. Okay, now that we have gotten that out of the way, we can get to the fun stuff. What is an abundance mindset? If you operate from an abundance mindset, your actions and feelings come from a place of abundance. There is enough to go around. There will always be money for me to obtain, love to experience, joy to be had, feelings to be felt. I will always be okay and figure it out because there is no shortage of good in the world. And if I want it and I work for it, it will come. If I just keep moving forward in alignment, it will come. And so, working off the inverse of scarcity mindset, some ways that an abundance mindset can manifest in our lives is one, through relationships. You might be able to leave a comfortable relationship because you know deep down they aren't the one. Because you know deep down that there is a love out there for you that will check your boxes and that you will be okay without this relationship. In terms of emotional capacity, somebody with an abundance mindset exercises a lot of resilience. They are capable of bouncing back after failure or loss because they understand that hard times are temporary and there are still good things to be experienced and good things on the horizon. In terms of work, somebody with an abundance mindset might be really good at sharing the resources, recommending a good coworker for a promotion, teaching others valuable skills, building others up. And when we think about confidence, an abundance mindset allows you to be inspired by others rather than feeling threatened. Lastly, with money, somebody with an abundance mindset is investing. They are spending money to make money. They are secure in the idea that money comes and money goes and that there will always be more where that came from. Next is thinking about how we get into this abundance mindset and how we actually reframe our thoughts in order to get here. First and foremost, I think it's important to get really clear about what you want and what you deserve. And this comes with getting to know yourself a little bit, which might be uncomfortable for people. I get it. But when you are clear about what you want out of life, and more specifically, what you're willing to accept, this can help you move into the abundance mindset. So once you're clear about what you want, there becomes this distinct line in the sand that can allow you to either accept certain treatment or deny it. You're no longer going to be manipulated into taking less than you deserve because you've outlined exactly what you want for yourself and you can stick to it. And so this will help you avoid that begging and groveling and accepting scraps that so many of us love to do for people and things that aren't even worth our time to begin with. Knowing what you deserve will also take the focus off of what other people are willing to give us, and it'll put the focus on what we are willing to receive. So identifying what you deserve also comes with knowing that you can get it. There's no more wondering, is this enough for me? Is there better out there? Should I hang on to this in case nothing better comes along? You will just be okay with it or you won't. And if you're not okay with it, you won't put up with it anymore because you are clear about the kind of treatment and life that you want for yourself, and you're fine with declining a situation that doesn't serve you. You're getting picky and you're knowing that you're going to be okay regardless of the outcome. Additionally, and I think this is a bonus, once you identify and get clear about what you want and what you deserve out of your life, it becomes a tangible, real goal that you can start moving towards. It's not some pipe dream that doesn't exist or only exists for some people, but it's something that's available for you to take. This is abundance, knowing that you are capable of getting what you want and that it is there for you to take it and that it won't be taken away if someone else succeeds, and that there are so many ways for you to get there, so many avenues to take, so much time to get there, and so many resources to be utilized on your way. Another way that we can get into an abundance mindset is to reevaluate the way that we compare ourselves to others. Jealousy, while it might seem like a negative emotion, it actually tells us things. It tells you what you want. So if you find yourself getting jealous or comparing yourself to somebody else in a negative way, I want you to take more time to really dive into that and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Most of the time, when it comes to comparison and jealousy, it's that you want what they have. If you feel yourself getting fired up over someone else's trip to Tahiti, then it tells you that you want to go to Tahiti. Or if someone's business is doing well, you might be wanting to start your own business. So try to unpack your jealousy and ask yourself what it means. Do you want the thing that you're jealous of? Okay, go for it. Use jealousy as a compass and a resource. This will show you that other people can win, but their winning can also guide you into knowing what you want and give you inspiration for you to do your own winning. There is enough winning to go around. Again, this is abundance. So one way to lock into this mindset is to get inspired by others rather than tearing them down. Another way to get into this mindset is to help others and share the resources, share the wealth, build community. This will not only switch your mindset, but it will also change the material things in your life, because once you share the resources and build that community, then there will literally be more resources to tap into next time. You will actually be creating abundance, not just changing your mindset to feel abundance. Another strategy, which might be my favorite, is affirmations. Reframing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Reframe any scarcity opinion to make it an abundance opinion. Catch yourself when you are thinking that way. Turn something like, I can't do this, into, I'm excited to learn how to do this. Some of my personal favorites are, 1, I am resourceful enough to figure it out. 2, I exude competence and warmth. 3, and this is a really popular one, I do not chase, I attract. And 4, what is meant for me will find me. And it's important to note that you can do these affirmations, and any affirmation for that matter, without necessarily believing it at first. Even if you say these to yourself and you're like, yeah, right, continue. Repetition is key. You'd be surprised how much language and self-talk can alter our actions. You might start believing these things and moving differently before you even notice. The last way to tap into this mindset that I want to talk about is gratitude. And my previous episode was on gratitude, so if you want some tips and tricks on practicing gratitude, head to episode 2. But gratitude brings our focus and awareness onto the good that we have in life, and it allows us to get into the energy of, we're going to be okay, we're going to move forward, we're going to be able to figure it out, rather than this is going wrong, or I'm never going to get this right, etc. This helps you see all of the positive things that you have going on, and that in turn will bring you into an abundance mindset, noticing there is endless good around you, and then you will act accordingly. And the cherry on top to all of the things that we've been talking about is that when you transition to operating out of an abundance mindset, you will experience more abundance. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will step into a position in which you start to create what you want rather than just sitting on the sidelines and waiting for it. Then you start taking the risks, and then they pay off, and then you're proving to yourself further that there is more where that came from, that you didn't just get one bite at the apple and the show's over. You prove to yourself that there is always more to be gained and learned. There's always more value to be created, more resources to be used. And then you can trust yourself to move on to the bigger things and the bigger things and the bigger things, because you know that you've got your own back no matter what happens. And this is getting a little into woo-woo land, so bear with me. You have to be the energetic match for the things that you want to receive. This is like manifesting 101. You have to be the energetic match for the things that you want to receive. You have to be operating on the same level as the things that you want. How that translates into practical language is that you need to be open and ready for the opportunity that you want. If you want more money, You can't be out here moving like you have none and will never have any. If you want a better relationship, you can't be moping around talking about how no one will ever love you. It doesn't work that way. You have to open yourself up to receive those things, and you have to believe that you are capable, worthy, and ready to receive those things. So in terms of an abundance mindset, once you step into that reframe, more abundance will come to you. You become the energetic match for abundance. Money will come, success will come, joy will come, whatever kind of abundance you want, it will find its way to you when you are open to receiving it and you believe in your spirit, in your soul, in your gut that it's coming. So I challenge you to, at the very least, start looking at your thoughts and taking inventory on how you describe your life. Are you thinking and operating out of scarcity or abundance? And from there, we can start to move towards an abundance mindset and really start to see the fruits of our labor. Okay, that wraps up the episode. I'm going to stop here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is something that I love to think about and work on in my life, and so I hope you took something away from it. Episode 3 down. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. Please follow and download the podcast wherever you are listening. Leave a rating and review if you feel so called to. If you're listening on Spotify, feel free to leave a comment and share how you plan on reframing your mindset from scarcity to abundance. As always, you guys got this. I am proud of you, and keep going. I will see you in the next episode.